Someone asked me to do a small tutorial on how to do some offset snapping. Offset snaps, I guess I would call something that is not quite a cheat. It's a module that allows you to use a snap in multiple ways to allow multiple items to sit in it. Snaps generally only allow one item to sit on their location and exactly where they want you to be. However, there are a couple mods we'll take a look at that will allow you to do much more with it. Let's see if I can find it and look at it. The first thing that you'll need is a utility called Ship Builder Configurator. The Ship Builder Configurator allows you to get rid of the tolerance issues that will prevent you from merging several ship modules together. I imagine originally Bethesda did that to help prevent crashes, because when you start merging a lot of modules, you're starting to get into a lot of memory usage. But as long as you keep it easy, don't go overboard, you're okay. This allows you to do something crazy, like that, where you notice nothing's in red, because I've been able to merge them together. That's the first thing you'll need. Now, for our tutorial today, we're going to need two other modules. This is the big one. SMSEX'x, this is Gilibrand's incomplete mod that he's done, probably a year back or almost a year back, in which he's almost completed it but not totally fixed some of the bugs. The thing that we'll be primarily using is this right here. This is a very simple texture file with two snaps placed on it. This snap in the middle will snap onto any available front-facing snap and allow it to turn into two. The best thing about it is that it is stackable, so you can, continue onward to the left or to the right until you get completely off the spaceship. It looks funky, but it's very useful. The next thing you'll need is Matilaja's aerospace mod. He's added a bunch of useful modules, some of them habitat, some of them structural. The thing I don't like about his stuff is his style. He's gone out of the NASA punk styling, gone into somewhat science fiction chrome style, maybe more Star Wars-y. Star Wars, at least the second trilogy. Deratech's gone even farther, but they both create some very useful utility modules. Now let's get back to where we were. First, I recolored this to make it a little easier to see. Don't need that, let's delete that. Instead, we'll use these. These are exactly the same, they just take up a less size. Now we're going to have to copy some of these so we have something to hold on to. Okay. There we go. We won't need that. Let's move these out of the way. We won't be using them quite yet. I want to get into the meat of things here. Now, these modules are hanging free, but that's just for right now. We won't worry about those. Get rid of these. We're not going to need them anymore. And now we're looking at a bunch of nice, fresh snaps here that we can snap to. The first thing that we're going to do is go ahead and extend those snaps out. This list of structures is getting very large, so it takes me a little while to get through it. This is it. This is kind of what it looks like in game. It's missing that door shape. Maybe mine is, but it still works for our purposes. The nice thing about this is we can flip it around, and there's that door shape, or almost. And that can snap to the back, or it can snap to the front, although it looks a little bit funky in the front. And because of that, we can go ahead and start stacking these. If you'll see what I mean. Now we've got two here. We can continue all the way out, I guess, into infinity until it gets ridiculous. I've gone out pretty far. Okay, put that back. You can see what I've done here. Now let's go ahead and add some structure to it. Let's see there. That's what we want. Flip that around a bit. There we go. See how it mounts? Now it's way off to the side. We've offset it. In fact, it's so far off to the side, it's almost between these modules. We've got a tooth right there. Now, we're starting to get some ideas here, and that's where we can get ourselves into trouble. But let's go ahead and do that. We're going to show you the second useful element of the SMSEX'x mod, and that is the Deimos Wing B. I don't believe I've seen others do it. So let's see, where are we at here? There we go. Let's move off of that. Bingo. This is a very useful module. The nice thing about this, though, is that it's got 3 snaps already built in. Those 3 snaps will allow you to combine into more offsets longitudinally. So I'll show you what I mean by that. Okay, we'll put that here. Let's see. I'm not exactly sure where I want it. I think that's about right. You notice that now with that, we can attach some elements to the side. So let's go ahead and do that. Matilla has a couple of really nice items. Some of them are utility items, like the staircases and the ramps and things like that. Problem is this stuff is mostly a little bit out there when it comes to the design, the look of a spaceship, and it doesn't always look right. Here we go. This is the one we want. If I can grab it. That's not too far out there. It looks like he grabbed something from an M-class spaceship and shrunk. See what we did there. Here, let's complete this portion here. Oh, that's looking not too bad. Okay. Let's complete it to the bottom side. You can see again, if you turn off the tolerance issues, you can happily meld and merge all these modules together. see if we can get a move on it. There we go. Okay. Now, this Stroud item is okay, but as you can see, it starts to, it's kind of blunt on the nose, and it starts to, make it look a little bit blocky. However, since you can merge these items, you've got something that's just a little bit less blocky. We left a little portion of that out, so let's go ahead and fix that. Completely merged here. However, this is where I show you that snaps don't always like to share. This one is blocking access to that snap here, but this Metallija item has a snap on the edge here, and that allows us to share. Come on, there you go. See what I did that? I shared the snap here with this item. And now if we color it all the same color, it is almost seamless. Almost, except for one thing. Metallija wants that slightly metallic sheen, and it doesn't match very well with that. You can't have everything. But we can complete that down and make it pretty streamlined, and yet we've got this big opening here. Now, for that, we run into a couple issues here. This is a little too short. We want it to have a kind of an overbite. So we can do it two ways. We can either grab onto that Deimos wing B. We kind of just a little bit go into that, or let's go ahead and just reuse this one. We could flip it around another way, so it goes back to kind of, say, a half-ab size, like that. It's however you want it. Again, we can match these items together so they don't show. We could fill it with more wing Bs here. And if you look at it, it doesn't overlap this thing much. A much better idea, instead of going that route, is go up with Deratech. Deratech's taken Metallija's idea. Well, Deratech was first, and come up with some really shiny chromed out stuff. I don't like that at all, and it does not match anything as far as the rest of the ships are concerned. There we go. However, now it merges quite nicely right into that, leaving a little ridge. There you go. And if you wanted to break it up a little bit, you could do that. That. You can see that it leaves a little blank spot here. Or you can go even farther. And let's see. Which is what I've done on a couple of my spaceships. If I can access it here. Like that. It leaves a little lip. Just a tiny one. You can mount something on there, or you could just leave it bare. And now you've got the beginnings of a scoop or a maw or mouth. You can start putting stuff in there. And you can see an unused snap element here. We'll probably will want to hide that. Here's what I used. See, now it's hidden. And that kind of builds a throat. And you can also put those other things that I got rid of. Anyway, that's the end of this particular tutorial.